I can't think what you've been doing, but Spurs lead Arsenal 2-1 in this FA Cup semi-final, first ever semi-final to be played here at Wembley. And it was vital for Arsenal they got right back in it just before half-time, because Smith hadn't had things going his way really up till then.
He'd had a really rough time. He failed to clear that ball for Spurs' first goal, and a couple of touches up front had not come off. And yeah, he's a player who's only just become as respected as he has. And so the game wasn't going to be one of his favourites. But this was a beautiful header. You could blame the Spurs defenders. There were three of them there for not getting up and challenging more fully. But it was a lovely header to beat the keeper from that distance. Look again how far back it was. See, there's the man who's made the link. Campbell laid the ball back beautifully, which is the build-up to give a player a chance to cross it like that. Well,
not much chance for the goalkeeper.
I wouldn't say
really.
the keeper was 100%. Someone else have a view.
What do you think?
No, I just think the problem's there for Spurs. They didn't clear the area. Looking at it from a defensive point of view, as the ball's gone back to Dixon, if they come out and hit the 18-yard box, I think Smithy's offside.
Yeah.
That was a defensive problem that they had, but he's put the goal. It's a tremendous header.
It was a long way out. That was a tremendous header. Brilliant header.
I mean, let's give the credit to Smith and not to
No, I
blame the goalkeeper.
thought the goalkeeper had to come and follow the ball slightly, and Smith put it back to where he'd already come from. It was a great header.
Right, more comment in a moment. Meantime, let's hear from another man who's starred at Wembley in his time, Phil Collins. He's with Ray Stubbs.
Phil Collins, a lifelong Spurs fan, your assessment of the first half?
Very, very exciting from where I was sitting up there. There's great start, wonderful start from Gascoigne. I mean, what a fantastic goal. I mean, that's the way to get a free kick. Take a free kick. It was incredible. And the second goal, I thought that the footwork that led up to the second goal was stunning from where we were as well. So it's been great. I mean, it's a shame that they let one in just before half-time, because that's obviously great for Arsenal. But I'd like to see Spurs obviously do it because of their troubles. And you know, as you say, I've been a Spurs fan for a long time.
Is there a danger there might have been a lot of burnout from Spurs in the first 20 minutes?
Yeah, I think the excitement coming out here, and I've done this place 4 times, you know, with Genesis, and you come out and the audience reaction is fantastic, you know, and then there's the adrenaline, and of course that will wear out, that will wear off after about half an hour, and you start to sort of get very, very tired because of the adrenaline, and I think it's probably happened with Spurs, you know, before half time.
Briefly, will Arsenal come back?
Hope not. Hope not.
Thank you for talking to us.
Well, he wins cap of the day for certain anyway. But Gascoigne now, being the star of the first half, undoubtedly. Glenn, can he keep going for the full 90 after that sort of operation, do you think?
I think he can, yes, looking at him. I think he's well pumped up for the game, that's for sure. And after scoring a goal like that, I think that'll carry him through right to the end of the game.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a question of running everything out and then pulling him off for the last 20 minutes or something.
Well, it certainly looked as if Venables said to him, you just go out there and go right from the very off. Don't try and hold yourself back or pace yourself for the 90 minutes. But look at him there now, he's pumped up. He'll be gone as long as he possibly can. Yeah. But a great time for Arsenal to score because, you know, they've come out now. George Graham hopefully will have sorted their tactical problems out. And you know, they can turn
very much back in.
They can turn this game around.
Right.
Because they're sorry.
Okay, no. Let's enjoy the second half now with Trevor and Barry.
Well, just 1 or 2 statistics from the first half. Wouldn't want you to think that Albert Sewell's not with us. Goal attempt by Arsenal 5, by Spurs 7. There wasn't one corner in the first 45 minutes. Fouls committed by Arsenal 14, by Spurs 9. Spurs caught offside 7 times, Arsenal once. And a total of only 3 bookings, because we've had it confirmed by the referee that he did not, in fact, book Kevin Campbell. So I suppose to all the statistics you can add 1 mistake by commentator. Or maybe you spotted a few more. Away we go on the second half. Arsenal attacking the goal to our left. And here's Winterburn. Kick by Sedgley. Well, we've seen how well Spurs can play in attack, but George Graham certainly will have geared up his side to give a real test to the Tottenham defence. How much has much as that late goal in the first half changed the balance. Just away by Mabbott. Free kick by Allen. Limpar, he challenged. Adams has come up, as has Bold. 1-3. Merson is the last to make the run and gets ahead, but not sufficiently ahead with his head.
Hasn't had a chance to perhaps show his individual flair going forward, taking defenders on. He is dangerous though when he gets on a little purple spell, and I think Arsenal, important opening 10 minutes of this second half, they've got to try and get the dominance that Spurs had in that opening period themselves, and try and sustain some pressure and sort of push Spurs back on the defensive and not allow their midfield five to dominate.
This is Campbell. This is a good run too, taken off his toe by Vanden Hauwe, but confident movement by the young man who's made the forward place his own in the second half of the season. Free kick, bit of holding by Bold on Lineker.
I think this is just a bit too far for even Paul Gascoigne to chance a shot.
You might think so, it's a question of whether he thinks so.
I'm sure he doesn't.
Referee is getting the ball back 10 yards. And Gascoigne's got a further 10 yards back from that to run if he's to have a crack. And the referee placing the ball in the right place. Of course, it will be moved, or was moved, just a couple of centimetres. In he comes. Not quite as memorable as his first. Play by Samways. Can't argue with the comments at half-time about Paul Gascoigne being the star of the show, but it's because he has such a high profile. But I tell you what, Vinnie Samways wasn't too far behind him.
Well, I had Vinnie Samways and Paul Allen as two very close alongside Paul Gascoigne. I thought those pair were just as devastating as Gascoigne, but it was that midfield department that was the dominant factor.
Winterburn. Certainly justified his inclusion at the expense of Naeem. Won by Smith. This is Limpar, and this is Merson. Took it away from Lee Dixon.
They're pushing up much better in this opening period, Arsenal. Lee Dixon and Nigel Winterburn, and also the forward wide players, Merson and Limpar. They're supporting Smith and Campbell much better, and Spurs are having to occupy themselves defensively more.
Intended as a crossfield ball to Gascoigne. Free kick. No, says the referee. Both went for the ball. The referee was right on the spot. Adams brings up the back two, and the players all tight with the centre circle, pulling back now. Smith. Free kick. And Arsenal have pushed 6 players forward, Adams among them, essentially trying to hold the line just outside the 18-yard area. Bold up on the left, up by Davis. Campbell, appeal for handball, and it's given.
Very difficult to get a free kick in like that, hanging from a straight ball, and most defences should deal with it. If at all possible, it's much better to get out wide and get the crosses in from a better angle.
Slip by Stewart. Good wide ball by Campbell. An excellent piece of full-back play to deny another full-back.
Done well, young Edinburgh. Playing in a Wembley semi-final like this, he's coped, as I say, extremely well, because he wouldn't have sampled such an atmosphere before.
Yes, they don't quite get 80,000 at Roots Hall, do they?
I think they'd like to, though. I suppose we better mention that is Southend, for those that don't support the Essex club, but they look as if they could be in the second division next year.
Howells beaten to it by Adams. Sedgley. Allen. Gascoigne. Elaborate dummy. Good tackle. He's made 3 or 4 like that. Aggressive but fair. Timing excellent. Tony Adams. Campbell and Sedgley. Campbell stole half a yard. Sedgley just got the foot. Solid challenge with Merson. But the referee has given a free kick and indicated that the ball was pushed along with the arm. One of the curiosities with the referee, Ray Lewis, is that for him this is a bit of a rehearsal too, because he'll be back next week. I think that suggests that the League Cup final is now being played too late in the season, but that's only a personal view. Allen trying to get between two. Lineker. Samways did well. And withstood the pressure of Davis. Needs support wide, gets it. Challenge on him was late, but the referee allowed play to continue. Tottenham not with quite the flow that they had in the first period. Fine ball by Merson to Winterburn. And difficult, Campbell, and Thomas was nearest in the end.
There's Winterburn, who's making those forward runs that helps the Arsenal attack so much, and there's Sedgley just hooking his left leg. Not sure he intended to play it back to his goalkeeper, but that's where it ended up. But Arsenal are getting forward in numbers much better.
Free kick against Steve Bold. Seen a couple of examples already of the Arsenal fullbacks getting forward. That's a free kick against Limpar, who hasn't been the factor in the match that Arsenal need him to be. Samways, I think, calming things a bit for Gascoigne. Allen, 3 for the back post, and Seaman with a quality claim, with a bit of pushing anyway. Here's Dixon. And Howells was nowhere near him as he made the break, because he'd been forward with the attack. Sedgley's clearance. Indicative, I wonder, of the change of feeling. Samways, Lineker, simple but very effective. 4 in support here. Adams challenge. Ten minutes of the second half have elapsed. No additions to the score, but Arsenal playing far, far better. Tottenham not quite as well. Dixon. Long for Campbell, met by Sedgley. Edinburgh. Good pass. Again, simple but effective. Used to be the old Tottenham maxim. And this is Allen. Play it simple, play it quick. Used to be the comments of Arthur Rowe. Tottenham manager on the 50s side. Good play by Mabbott. Stewart didn't get there. Smith got ahead of him. Campbell resisted the challenge well. Davis. Arsenal get it wide again. 3 waiting. And a man over. Campbell. The man over was Limpar. That's for whom the pass was intended. Good play by Allen. Neatness from Arsenal. It's coming down to Winterburn. Still Winterburn. It's over the top.
Winterburn got forward so effectively in the second half. He's making a lot of problems here. Just touches it over, heads it over then Gary Mabbott, who tries, probably could have done with the right foot there, and he has to stretch with his favoured left and lift it over Torstvedt, but the goal as well. But he's getting some good angles, getting into attack, not worrying so much about his defensive duties, which is Arsenal have to do if they're going to get back into this match.
Smith again. Gascoigne hasn't been involved anything like as much. Free kick is against him. Adams, Bold, Campbell and Smith in a line. Bold and Adams make the first dummy run. Now they go again. Away not hugely well by Howells. And Smith. Tottenham are all pushing out, and they nearly got caught.
As you say, they came out to play the offside. Smith timed his run well. It was a bit unfortunate for him. It's one of those through balls that just hangs in the air, and there was a big groan from Arsenal supporters who thought he might have done better, but he couldn't head it from there, and he couldn't volley it, and he had to try and knock it on, and that gave the opportunity for Spurs to get back.
Arsenal build, 2 of the midfield players are cut out of it. They're using the longer ball much more. This is Campbell. Good combination between Mabbott and Torstvedt.
Quite a variation in the style, isn't there? Spurs knocking it in, interchanging between the midfield, and Arsenal getting back into it by using that aerial advantage they think they've got. They saw Alan Smith head a goal, and now they're trying to capitalise on Campbell and Smith perhaps in the air.
Bold. Winterburn on the left touchline. Bold uses the space, but doesn't find a good pass. And Gascoigne, who really hasn't been involved in the second half, and I think the indications are that he won't be on for much longer. We've had an hour of the match, 2/3 of the contest. 3 goals, 2-1 in favour of Tottenham. Smith. And the substitution will now be made. Gascoigne. who has written his notes on this semi-final, but beaten by the shortness of the time since the stomach operation. And the man who replaces him is Naeem. So it's a midfield player for a midfield player, but Naeem's task is to make sure that what Gascoigne has helped Tottenham achieve is not, in the end, to be wasted. Up to Campbell. This is Paul Merson. Limpar, the ball was a bit square. Wanted something to run onto then, Limpar, but the pass made him slow his stride a bit.
Again, the ball in the air, though, nodded on by Campbell. Terry Venables just making sure tactically the switch is all sorted out, though Naeem has now gone on to the left-hand side, who perhaps watched Lee Dixon, and David Howells has been moved more into a centre, perhaps to add a bit more competitive edge now that Arsenal seem to be coming forward better.
Limpar again. They're all a bit close, the Arsenal front three. Still Limpar. Van Howell with the challenge. Stewart, who eventually played it back. Well, handshakes all around Paul Gascoigne, and in spite of the energy that he's used, I bet there'll be a few words said during this last 28 minutes or so. Merson hoping to find Dixon, but unless he caught a train, he was never going to catch that. And Perry Groves to be introduced by Arsenal. And the man to come off is the Swede Anders Limpar, who's had a disappointing match in my opinion.
Southampton in the week, Limpar was quiet again, and he was taken off. On that occasion Merson was being rested and he came on, and this time is Perry Groves coming into the action. I can understand it, because I think as the game has gone, Limpar's been in some good situations and not capitalised on them as perhaps he's done earlier in the season.
And I'm sure you, Trevor, can remember when Perry Groves came on in a League Cup final here against Liverpool to, in the end, supply the telling ball. By Bold. Merson. Cover by Edinburgh. Had a tidy game. Lineker makes it his. Allen found nobody outside him. Free kick is given. The shoulders looked pretty adjacent. The referee again in a good position. Samways. Howells. Lineker, they were pleading for offside, which he certainly wasn't. Line was very square, but it often is for Arsenal. Allen. Early cross in, but met confidently by Bold. Stewart tried to work his angle, but rather telegraphed his intention. So we've passed 20 minutes in the second half. Still Tottenham Hotspur 2, Arsenal 1. But Arsenal a far greater threat in this second period. Stewart's. Tottenham were making the ball do the work far more in the first half than they are in the second. There seemed to be too many options open then to Stewart, did there?
I think they're tired a little bit when you think of all the running they did the first 45 minutes, and then from the other side, Arsenal pushing up much better and denying them the space that they did have in that first period.
Handball against Allen. Smith, Davis, Merson, Bold, Campbell, all forward. Rose will wait to let it go for the throw.
He's got a long throw as well, Perry Rose. This will go right into the penalty area.
Quite legitimate what Paul Allen is doing. Flag is up on the far side, and Tottenham had the free kick. Change of tactics, George Graham. The midfield is often being left with the longer ball, looking for Campbell and Smith. And by Smith in the air again. Not the best of headers by